Hey there, and welcome back to Utility Sports. In today's video, we are going to be covering NFL relocation cities. And now this has kind of been a big topic recently, especially with the rumors about the Buffalo Bills potentially moving to Austin, Texas. That's kind of what sparked all of this. I think this is a really interesting video to talk about and some of the potential cities that might be looking to gain NFL franchise. Now, the tough part of this is this does not happen very often. But there's a couple of cities that really could make some strong bids to host an NFL franchise for years to come. And we're going to jump right into the video. The very first city that we do have is Birmingham, Alabama. I mean, Alabama has wonderful support for the Crimson Tide, and I think they are very worthy of having a team. The city has a population of only 207,000, but that doesn't always matter. What matters is having a passionate fan base and also people that have a willingness to travel to go to a game. Obviously, an example of that would be Green Bay. Green Bay, in terms of population, is not very big, but they have overwhelming fan support. Part of it's due to it being a historic team, and also part of it is just people love the franchise itself and are really invested into it. I think that's what Birmingham kind of brings to the table. I think that would be a phenomenal candidate just considering how much support they have for the Crimson Tide. And I think they would be a great fan base. Now, the next one that we have here is Salt Lake City. And part of the reason for Salt Lake City is we've been able to see a successful NBA franchise in the Utah Jazz play there and have really good support. And also, part of it is just trying to balance out the West, have another team out West in that area. I think Salt Lake City could definitely support one population of about 197,000 people. But once again, there would be a willingness to travel. I think that, obviously they'd like they love their Utah Utes. That's definitely another part of it as well. Some of this, when you're looking into it, it's, how have they done with teams that are already there, whether it's a college or professional level? And I think they check mark both boxes at the pro and college level. Obviously, the NBA is different than the NFL, but I do believe that people in Utah love football. So that is our number two. Number three, these aren't necessarily in order, but Austin, Texas. We had talked about that earlier. Buffalo would be potentially looking to relocate to Austin, Texas. Why Austin, Texas? This is a growing metropolitan area, one of the fastest growing cities in America. And plus, Texas has a football culture, right? So in the NBA, they obviously have three franchises. And I think in the NFL, they could also have three franchises. You would have the Texans and the Cowboys, and then potentially the Bills or whatever team would relocate here. You're going to have overwhelming fan support within the city. It's just a wonderful place to be because you have a lot of people in the state of Texas, and there would definitely be some people that would jump to this new team in the city of Austin. I think there's a lot to like about it. Booming metropolitan area. The economy's great there. This would probably be the most realistic on the list to have happen. So Austin, Texas, definitely a great candidate for sure. Now the next place is Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City is definitely a place that you could see a franchise working. We've seen the Oklahoma City Thunder have a lot of success with fan support. People were pretty critical of the move when they moved from Seattle to Oklahoma City, but they've done very well. The Thunder are in a great position, but for a football team, once again, Oklahoma is another place that loves their football. You have the University of Oklahoma, you have Oklahoma State, and you have Tulsa. All three of them have really good fan support, and I think that they could support a team. Obviously, it's in terms of population, 643,000 people, so it's actually a pretty good sized metropolitan area. But I think this is a very good candidate, just considering that they already have great fan support for the Thunder, and they also have a good sized metropolitan area. And then the final one, this is kind of an out there one, but Virginia Beach, Virginia definitely could be in the mix, just considering that they have a pretty good support for football as well. And geographically, you could also use another one in that part of the country as well. Virginia Beach has a population of 450,000, which is pretty impressive. I did not know it was this large of a city. But also, you could kind of do a combination of where you make it a West Virginia and a Virginia team, kind of like how the Carolinas combine it to be the Carolina Panthers. Maybe you just combine it and have it represented by both states, if you're a little concerned about that. But I think this would be a very, very interesting city, just considering that there has been some talks in the NBA and other leagues, considering Virginia adding a pro sports team. They have very, very good college support as well. So a lot of that goes into it. I think there's a couple of honorable mentions. We had talked about them before. I think another team in possibly Chicago would be very, very interesting. And then there's other people that would like to have like a team in Honolulu. I just don't know if that's realistic with the time zones, and just the travel would be really, really difficult. And there's a number of cities that definitely could use a franchise. Let me know in the comment section below what cities deserve an NFL franchise. I think we got a pretty good mix of different types of cities, and overall, I think we put together a very, very nice list. However, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, because this is important. Because if Buffalo ends up moving, they're going to need a location. I think Austin, Texas is the most realistic. I think it's going to have the best fan support. Definitely a state that could, still hold another team despite there already being two. However, we do see in the NBA that they can support all three NBA franchise pretty easily. Thanks for watching our video. Subscribe if you are new. Also, leave a like if you did enjoy the video. We are pushing out football content all the time. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you in our next video.